The son of murdered actor and director Rob Reiner and his wife Michele, he's due in court today for his arraignment. That couple was found stabbed to death in their Southern California home just last month, and their son Nick was arrested and has been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in this case. He's been held without bail. Joining me now, I've got Jesse Weber, host of NewsNation's upcoming show, Jesse Weber Live. Good morning to you, my friend. It's good to be reunited once again.
Good morning. Great to see you again. And I like the sound of Jesse Weber Live. It's the first time I've heard somebody actually say it. I like it.
I know. You've become a dad and you're getting a new show. It's been a heck of a year for you.
But it's great to see you.
Let's chat about your show in just a moment. Let's start with today because Nick's first court case was last month, and he didn't enter a plea. His team said, can we wait till today, January 7th instead? What do you think we're going to see happen?
So when his attorney, Alan Jackson, first made that statement that there are serious and complex issues here, I said it at the time, I'm going to say it again, a defense attorney making that statement before seemingly having the opportunity to review any of the evidence in this case and whether there was any constitutional violations, the first thing that I thought was you're talking about mental health. And it seemed to me that what we may expect is that his attorneys conducted a mental health evaluation of Nick Reiner. Why? First issue would be competency, right? Can he even stand trial at this point? Can he assist in his own defense? Does he appreciate and understand the legal process against him? If he can't, this whole process is delayed. We have to work on him getting competent once again. We'll see if that ultimately happens. The second issue is he's going to potentially enter a plea today. And many people are wondering, is he going to enter a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity, which you and I both know is a very tough bar, but perhaps we'll get some inclination into that today.
And is that his best card to play, you think?
Look, I can't sit here and tell you I know all the evidence in this case, but if you're asking me, it seems authorities believe they have the guy. They believe they have the person who committed these atrocious murders, and there's a lot that we don't know. So the ME's findings have been sealed. Having said that, it does seem to me that this may be a defense that they have to work with, that perhaps their only defense if they can't get evidence thrown out. The problem with that kind of case is when you're talking about insanity, you're basically saying that Nick Reiner didn't appreciate what he did. He didn't understand the nature of his alleged actions, or he didn't understand right from wrong. The reason that's such a difficult defense, and particularly here, is then why check into a hotel room, allegedly, in the early morning hours when apparently
Correct.
He was living on the property. I think his behavior in the surveillance footage also is going to be a key factor. But look, we don't have all the details, and you do wonder if that's maybe the only avenue they go to.
Yeah, a lot of things don't add up there. What do you make of, the other big news that just dropped yesterday is he's now been taken off of suicide watch. We saw him in all these court sketches wearing the anti-suicide smock. What do you make of the timing of that right before arraignment?
Look, it does give you an insight into his mental health, right? If you're talking about somebody that was on suicide watch, then you're clearly talking about somebody that has serious mental health issues, and perhaps that'll be elaborated about a bit today, and maybe we'll factor into this mental health analysis that we're talking about. But from a practical point of view, and if this is televised, and for somebody who is all about transparency, I hope that it is, he won't be appearing in that. He will be appearing in either prison garb or perhaps in jail garb or perhaps civilian clothing. But it does give you an insight into what has been going on since December, as his attorneys are probably, I believe, trying to get some mental health evaluation of Nick Reiner at this point, because it's been reported there are very, very serious issues at play here.
And then quickly, before I let you go, Alan Jackson is in his corner, famously represented Karen Reed. Does he have a major leg up with Jackson on his case, you think?
Look, he's an excellent attorney. He also represented Kevin Spacey. He was able to get charges there dropped. So I think what you're talking about here is somebody who is not shy away from public cases, high-profile cases, but every case is different. The Karen Reed defense is going to be very different than a potential Nick Reiner defense. But what I will say is he is very experienced, not in the courtroom, but he's also experienced on how to navigate a very high-profile case, and particularly trying to get a jury who maybe has already been exposed to a lot of the media coverage of this and trying to get a fair and impartial jury. Now, we're far away from that, but having Alan Jackson in your corner, given his track record, that's definitely something that you want.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.